Is it possible to completely do away with an Archon or demon forever? Stay for a few minutes, and I'll explain the method I've developed with
Interdimensional Vision.
This knowledge isn't intended to turn you into an Archon hunter, because that's very dangerous if the necessary measures aren't taken. But it does inform you that they can be completely eliminated through interdimensional remote viewing. We must abandon the belief that has been imposed on us that evil spirits or demons are immortal and indestructible. Let's analyze the fundamentals we need to know in order to completely eliminate them. Subdue the Archon in our dominion. Learning to master the energy field is the basics. There is a rule that applies to the entire expansion that includes what you know as the universe or multiverse. Let's summarize it like this. You are the owner of your energy field and your creations, and anyone who wishes to enter or participate in them must submit to or comply with the rules you have imposed on your energy field. It is your domain. That is why when we enter this private creation called the reincarnation zone, we must submit to the rules of its creator, the same one who placed us in complicated conditions so we could escape and remain trapped in this cycle for as long as possible, feeding the system and the Archons with our energy. The previous video explains how we can break the cycle of reincarnations. When these Archons interfere with you by experimenting with your essence and installing etheric implants, they cannot avoid accessing your energetic field. These actions are a consequence of making contracts with these beings because we give them permission to do so in exchange for the benefits of the agreement. This has a weakening effect on our essence, which allowed it to be trapped. These implantation or interference actions are carried out on immaterial planes, which is why many are unaware of them, but others do realize it when they experience sleep paralysis after a nightmare, where aliens experiment on their bodies, for example. However, if we become aware as humans on the physical plane of what they have done to us, we can take action to defend our invaded domain, enforcing justice on these beings, as a consequence of having accessed our energetic field. This is what is typically done in an interdimensional remote viewing session. It is also possible to configure our energetic field to have certain rules in certain specific situations so that an entity of any kind does not invade your energetic field simply because you left the doors open for it to enter. You can set rules to protect your dreams and your home so that these beings don't have access to disturb you. It's important to master our energy field and not give these entities access because everything that happens in your energy field influences your physical body and mind. The Archon's energy source. The etheric contracts established by an Archon constantly nourish him and also grant the Archon authority over the person who made a pact with him due to the debt. Etheric contracts also energetically contaminate the essence and its fractal. An Archon can have contracts with thousands or millions of essences, and with each essence, they can have anywhere from 1 to hundreds of contracts, making them more powerful, longer-lived, greater, and of a higher hierarchy. Contracts also allow Archons to be immortal or indestructible. If someone casually eliminates them by burning them or removes them from the energy field, they simply continue to exist as if nothing had happened. Archons can exist if they have contracts with other essences in other timelines and planets at different vibrational densities. As long as they have that energy source, they can regenerate their bodies from nothing. As long as the Archon has at least one contract, he will have the ability to regenerate. With the dark essence. I refer to this as what makes the Archon what he is. His consciousness, but of darkness. It is the collection of knowledge, skills, and memories he acquired in all his timelines, planets, and dimensions since his existence began. Among all this information, is the programming they have that makes them Archons. Our energy of purity as creator consciousnesses has an overwhelming effect on these entities. It is seen in that immaterial dimension as light. Archons cannot get too close to an essence that radiates their light, because it would disintegrate. Just as a light bulb at its maximum brightness completely illuminates a dark room, when you turn it on, the darkness disappears, which is why they seek to extinguish you. Archons have a nature contrary to ours. They cannot tolerate us, and their energy type disappears upon contact with our light. The light or energy of purity of the essences is capable of disintegrating implants, entities, dense emotions, and anything made with that dark energy. The elimination of an Archon. When an entity has already gained access to our energetic field, we must first subdue it by imposing our energy and will upon it, so that it realizes that we know and are completely confident in what we can do in that situation. Then, we must arrange and have them show us all the contracts they have established with all the creator consciousnesses in any dimension, planet, and timeline. Once these contracts have been shown, they must be cut or eliminated. The contracts may appear like chains. That is how the mind can appear in remote viewing to interpret what is happening on the energetic plane. The benefit of this is that the contracts of all the fractals that have made a pact with the Archon are cancelled. This step will leave the Archon in a weak state, with little energy left to communicate or stand. Many will lose their enormous size, horns, and tail. Others will become stunted, that is, they will remain as they truly are, without the energy of the creator consciousnesses, weak creatures. After completing these actions, we must order the Archon to deliver all of his knowledge, powers, abilities, memories, and recollections acquired in any timeline, planet, or dimension into a sphere. Finally, with our energy or light, we disintegrate the dark sphere that the Archon has surrendered, along with his energetic body. At that moment, it will completely dissipate and cease to exist forever. This dark sphere cannot be cast into the universe, as another entity will come and take it, and even worse, they can relocate it to another body, bringing the Archon back. It must be disintegrated. If you are a practitioner of remote viewing and regression hypnosis, try it and confirm it before being skeptical. That way you can speak with truth. However, the Archons won't like this, so you must be prepared for the consequences or take appropriate measures to avoid being harassed later. What are the effects of removing all contracts from an Archon? First, millions of people can recover some of their light drained by these contracts, and this can help them become more conscious even if they are still being interfered with. Second, if the entity interfered with another person through an etheric implant, the implant remains in the person, but at least it is not being manipulated by the Archon who ceased to exist. Third, we can give a person the opportunity to awaken themselves by recovering some of their energy that was being drained by the contracts. Well, I hope you liked it, but above all, that it was useful. In the next video, I'll talk about energy bonds, which is another basic topic we must master to become more conscious. See you later.